Welcome, Crusader fans, to another edition of the Valpo Coaches Show. Joining me today, Crusader men's soccer head coach Mike Avery. Mike, good to have you along.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
It's been a season, a lot of expectations coming in, especially after winning the regular season championship last year, and it's a season that, in a lot of respects, hasn't gone the way you might have wanted it to go. You've been creating a lot of chances, not scoring a lot of goals until this recent stretch. With so much adversity, how do you keep the positive attitude within the team when you're putting all this work in and the results just aren't falling your way?
Yeah, I do think it's been an interesting season. I think when it's all said and done and we get some time to catch our breath, we're going to look back. And I know for me as a coach, it's probably going to be one of the most compelling seasons that we've had. You say at the beginning of your question that there was high expectations for the team, but the reality is we lost a lot of players from last year. We were rebuilding our back four. We graduated 10 seniors from the team last year. And so there was a lot of a feeling for me anyways that I knew it was going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of tinkering. I like the pieces that we have, and I knew we did a good job in terms of developing younger players for the season and then recruiting new players that would help. But we knew it was going to take a little bit of time. And then as we start playing, as you alluded to, the goals haven't come maybe as frequently as we'd like to. But the reality is that our chances have been coming, and that's really the test for me. Soccer's a funny game, and it's hard to score goals sometimes. If we weren't creating chances, then I would be really worried. But the fact is that we went through a month of September where we didn't score a goal, but we created great chances. We controlled the run of play in games better than we did even a year ago. And so we knew that it was going to come, and I think it's been really a testament to our players. They've bought in to the idea that we have to be mature, that we have to be patient, that we have to just keep pushing and understand that sooner or later the things that we expect are going to happen for us will happen for us. And I do think that my players in that regard have been inspiring even to me, because look, there's plenty of nights that I sit around in the middle of the night wondering what more could we do, what more could I do. And I think about the response that the players have shown. They've really taught me a lot in this season about perseverance and about maintaining a positive attitude and just adopting a positive paradigm. And that's what we do with our team. I stood before them every single day in September and said, it's going to turn. The season's going to turn. And every day they looked back at me and said, yeah, it's going to turn. And whether it has or it hasn't yet, I know that it looks a lot better now than it did a few weeks ago.
You mentioned in your answer to the last question about replacing the entire back four from last year. I just want to touch on that because that is a challenge. Yes, you returned Kyle Zubik in net, but a lot of people don't realize just how important the pieces in front of him are. How have the new pieces in that back four, how have they been able to maintain that level of defensive play to keep the ball out of the back of the net that you expect out of your defense while stepping in and forming a whole new back line?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of getting to know one another. And this year's been interesting because not only have we had to replace 4 starters, Chad Solt, Kelvin Zeely, Stefan Antonievich, and then Ming Wong, but Steph and Ming were both first-team All-Region players. Steph was then drafted into the MLS. These are really important players to our team, and especially the way in which we play. I mean, our team is built from the back to the front. It's always been that way. We like to possess the ball and build out of the back. And so we ask a lot of our defenders, it's not just a destructive game. They've got to create chances for us and go forward. And then even within that this year, we've had a lot of little injuries, a lot of things. We've changed the lineup a lot of different times because of injuries. Last year, we got through the season pretty well intact. And this year's been different. And so it's been a challenge. And I'm really proud of the fact that we've only given away, I think, maybe 10 or 11 goals in the games that we've played so far. But you'll see in the stats that Kyle's getting a lot more work this year than he did a year ago. And I think that's to be expected. We're tightening up, and I think that in the next few weeks, I'm hoping that we can continue to see some more shutouts come up and limit chances, because that's going to be the test. At the end of the year, these games get really, really tight. And so we're going to have to keep teams out for long stretches and then hope that the goal that we're trying to get comes.
You talked about Kyle Zubik there, epitome really of what you want a student athlete to be. One of 10 finalists for the Senior Class Award that fans can vote on online at seniorclassaward.com. And can you just talk a little about what Kyle has meant to your program, not just obviously the on-the-field exploits, but also the way he represents Valpo in the classroom off the field?
Yeah, we hit the jackpot with Kyle Zubik. I first met him when I was coaching at Notre Dame, and then we followed him when I was at Louisville for that year. And then when we took the job here and were able to get him to come to school here, I was thrilled because I knew he was going to be good. But he's even exceeded those expectations. Kyle's a tremendous athlete. He's an intense competitor. He's probably the most serious guy on the team, including the coaching staff, to be honest. He keeps us very straight all the time. And he does it with a great heart. He loves his team and he loves what he does. And everything that he does in the classroom, in the community service that we do. He's the first to volunteer for a clinic with the kids. He's the first to volunteer if we're going to read at a school. He's the first one to pick up a bag when it's left behind. He's been a tremendous captain, a tremendous leader. And on top of all of it, he's probably one of the top goalkeepers in the country, and I think he's going to have an opportunity to play professionally if he wants to, but he's a tremendous student as well. He's going to have some decisions to make at the end of his career, whether he's just going to take a job or he's going to try and play, because he's got a lot of things going for him in both. And to be nominated for this senior class award, this is a great honor. I don't think people quite realize how big of a deal that is to get in that top 10. When you look at that top 10 that he's in with, it'll be basically 7-8 guys that are drafted in the first round of the MLS picks. It's guys that are representing big soccer programs with history that are going to maybe compete for a Final Four this year. And Kyle's the one outlier in all of that with our program's history and size. And I think it's a step in the right direction that for our program, and we're really proud of him. So I hope all of our fans get a chance to go on and vote. You can vote every day. So go on every day and vote up until I think the 19th of November.
That's correct. Voting does run through November 19th for that award. Getting back to the on-the-field, the results have turned for you a bit recently. 5-match unbeaten streak, 2 wins last week. Here against Northern Illinois at Brown Field, Charles Barden and Eric Nieto with early goals stood up on a rainy night for a 2-1 win. And then a little bit of adversity, as if you hadn't faced enough all year. At Detroit on Sunday, you get a red card right before halftime, playing a man down, but yet you take the game to them in the second half, out shooting the Titans 11-0. Nick Zuker gets off the mark for you in the 82nd minute with the eventual match winner. Eric Nieto adds an insurance goal there. Has anything different been going on, or is it just a matter of, once you find the back of the net once or twice and all of a sudden it seems like the goal mouth's wide open?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both of those things. We've made some personnel changes. Nieto played in the back for most of the year. Now he's playing as our striker. And obviously that's paying off for us with some goals. But I think really the biggest thing has just been our attitude. We talk every single day about optimism, about expectation, about how you view the chances that come your way. We could go into a game like Northern Illinois that you mentioned. I think in the first 3 minutes of that game we had 3 or 4 corner kicks and 2 or 3 shots on goal that didn't go in. And we could have said, oh no, here we go again. We're not scoring again today. We're cursed. It's bad luck. This isn't our year. And instead what we do is we say, look, this is a great day for us. We're creating a ton of chances. It's going to come. And then when it did, it came in twos. The same again on Sunday at Detroit. Things weren't necessarily going our way, but we didn't dwell on that. What we dwelled on were on the positive things. And then ultimately we were able to wear them down. We took the game to them. You wouldn't have known watching the game which team was down a man. We played with 10 men for 48 minutes, outshot them 11-0 in the second half, and scored 2 goals and probably could have scored 4 or 5 more. So I hope that it's turned. I hope that we can build on this momentum, but we've got a huge game coming up on Wednesday night against another team in Wright State that also has everything to play for, just like we do. And so it's an exciting time of the year, and hopefully if it has turned, it's certainly the right time of the year for that to happen.
You mentioned the Wright State game here at Brown Field Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Fans can watch the game live on the Horizon League Network online. You can find that link at valpoathletics.com. You can follow the Crusader men's soccer team all season long online on social media. Follow at VUMSO on Twitter or search for Valpo Men's Soccer on Facebook. Well, Coach Avery, thank you for joining me today. Good luck the rest of the way. Let's hope the results keep falling as they have the last couple weeks.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for your time.
Until next time, this has been the Valpo Coaches Show. Go Crusaders.